there, it's me, Andy. If you can hear a conversation, that's not in this room, my brother is currently out in the dining room watching Steven Universe, and I have no idea how loud it is. I know I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it, because I don't know if my mic is that strong. But, right now, tea of the day is cream soda. Again. I can't help it, I love soda. I'm trying to get myself off of it, but it's so hard. But, today I'm going to be talking about how I take notes, while I read. I used to have a actual book that I got for taking notes. I got off Amazon. If I can find a picture, I will plug it right here. But I don't use it that often because it's an actual, book like this. It's a hardback. I can't bend the cover back. By the way, I will talk about this book eventually because I loved it so much. But, and just the way that it's set up doesn't really appeal to me, which I should have guessed when I got it online. It's a beautiful thing, though. It is a beautiful book. And it says reading journal on the cover of it. If I plug the picture, you will see. But inside, it has a bunch of, checklists and stuff, which are really cool. But it also, the way that it's set up to take notes, it's either not enough room for me to take notes. Silver Kiss is somewhere around me right now because I was going through it again. But, I took notes for the Silver Kiss in that, and a couple of other books, and even though it is beautiful and I love it and has a lot of detail-oriented things that I like, it doesn't fit for, how I take notes. The one side, because for one book you have 2 pages. For the one side it has the book, the author, date started, date finished, what genre it is, when it was published. Oh my God. Probably heard that one. When it was published, and then why you wanted to learn about this topic. That didn't really work for me because it's more set up for kind of like a nonfiction book. It's like that on all the pages. If it had a section that was for nonfiction, it would work really, really well. But I got to the point where I was crossing out why I decided to learn about this, and I wrote notes above it because on the opposite side it has a full page for notes. And I liked it, but it was just difficult, especially I travel, I don't travel a lot, but if I'm at a hockey game or I'm sitting in the back at work reading, it just doesn't fit for me. Or in the summer, I would sit on a bench that was just down the way from my job, because whenever I would take my break, I wouldn't stay in the store I work because I'm in there for 8 hours and I don't want to stay in there for my break, and I usually would just eat when I got home because I'd rather be outside when it's really nice and read. Whether it was for my 15-minute or my half-hour break, I was outside. And I wish I could still go outside, but it was way too cold. I was staying outside until pretty much December. I would walk. But it just got too cold. So that doesn't work very well, especially with the fact of the notebook didn't stay open, and that was a problem for me because I don't want to have to put my book down, open it back up, write my notes, let it flip closed, and then go back to picking up my book and reading. Okay, that was my aunt. It just doesn't work for me. So when I got a gift card to Target for Christmas, I got this and a Udobee notebook that is spiral bound. I love Udobee products. I get them at Target. I haven't found them anywhere else, but if you know where I can get them other places, that'd be great. Because Udobee is a company that donates to schools in the US that need school supplies every time their products are bought, so that's part of the reason why I get their stuff, because I love it so much. It's very nice quality, and the fact that it, like, they're literally right here next to it. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it says "You Buy, Adobe Gives," and that just, I love that. I'm probably going to put Adobe's things in my favorites for January, which I'm probably going to end up filming sometime next week, maybe, hopefully. But I set it up in a way that works for me, the same way that I'm going to set up my new grimoire, which I'm probably going to make a video about that once I get it. I ordered it online. I know a lot of people say that, are in like the Wiccan community. I've heard so many people say you don't order a grimoire or something like that online, but I found one that I loved, and I really, really thought it would work so well. So I'm going to have to, I will probably make a video about my grimoires sometime soon. I'm working on it, I promise. But I set it up, book journal right up here, and then I have numbers going down the side, and I think I have 5 pages of index, so I have Roman numerals marking the index. Yes, 5 pages of index. And if I run out, a great thing about this is that it has a divider that is a little folder on both sides. So if I run out, and I hope I won't, right here is where I will start another index. So it's set up really nicely for how I like to take notes. So I have my index, the numbers down the side that correspond with the page number, and I will write the page number myself. Like, I think I've marked them up to, I think, 40 maybe, or no, 30. I've marked them up to 30. So, and I thought about how and I have my pen on the side. This is one of my favorite pens, which is the Papermate Inkjoy. Again, probably going to be in my favorites video, just because I love it. But I have that right in here every time, so I don't lose it. And then right next to the number, I will write the book title and who it's by. Like, the first one that I put in this journal for 2019 is Full Moon by Rachel Hawthorne. And then if I turn to page 1, it will have all of my notes. And I did say that I like the detail orientation that was in with the previous book journal, but I don't need all that detail, especially when I'm just taking notes, like quick bullet pointed notes, which is what this is. I filled the page, and up here I write the title, the first line I write who it's by, and then I just do little bullet points down the side of each thought that I have, and then I use that to compile my reviews, which I think is great. But it's so much easier to have this because I can just flip it back, and I can have it sitting on my lap with me while I read. I can put it on the table, and it's not taking up a lot of space when I'm at a hockey game just sitting there. So I prefer this over anything else. There is one thing that I don't take notes in this for, partially because I haven't done it, and I didn't do it in my old one either, and that is poetry books. Poetry books, the way that I do notes in those are my little stickies. This is what Jake got me for Christmas. I did not have milk and honey, so he got me milk and honey. So I have my little stickies, and I think what I'm going to do, a lot of these are marked because they remind me of people. I'll probably do a video about this probably within the next 10 minutes because I feel like it. But I have this little strip of stickies, which I think I'm going to end up putting right here in this front cover. I don't want to cover up the You Buy Adobe Gives thing that's right on the inside, but yeah, so I'm probably going to end up putting those right there, so they're right in there. I also have a little notebook kind of thing that has paper on one side, stickies on the other. I think it's in my purse. It might be in my purse, and my purse is right next to me. Oh, here it is. So I have this also. It is a little banged up because I've had it since my friend gave it to me, and I will need to restock soon. But stickies on one side, a little notebook on the other, which is also good to carry with me when I'm at work, especially when my manager has me run up to any restaurant to buy lunch. Thing about that is that I can do that is because I love my manager oh so much. My manager's my mom. But I also have this little thing to help me take notes with it, and I like this because it has the bigger stickies. So when I was reading books for class when I was in high school, I could write my thought on it real quick and then just stick it in the book. A big thing about school and taking notes with my books is I bought my own copies of the books that we were reading because it was just easier for me. I no longer have my copy of The Great Gatsby because I'll get to that in a different video. I'll get to that in the life update one. But yeah, that's just basically how I take notes. Taking notes for class for me is a lot different once I actually start my classes in pretty much a year and a half. For college, I'll probably make a video about that just because, but my little bullet tabs and my actual notebook really help me, especially with the fact that I do reviews for the books. So having my thoughts down on paper rather than just thinking about it is so much easier. And I know that there's probably going to be a thought of, oh, what if you overflow onto another page? Then say for Awake at Dawn, I spill onto the next page. I just put Awake at Dawn continued under it. I haven't had to do that yet, but that is my system for taking notes. I'm pretty organized with it because it just makes me feel better. Virgos like to be organized with things, so less anxiety. But yeah, that's just my basic thing of how I take notes. Like and comment if you want more videos like this of like taking notes or picking my books or any of that, especially with someone who has a huge TBR to still do. How do I pick the next book that I'm going to read if it's not in a series? Like, something like that. Subscribe if you want to see more of my face, which right now all you're seeing is my face and my little moon thing behind me. Wrong side. There we go. Moon thing behind me. Quotes on over here. So, and this little blue thing is sticky stuff that had a paper on it but fell off. So that's what that is. It is not a bug. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next chapter. Bye!